Morning, morning, morning. How are we? Hello, hi, it me. Welcome to the Canadian Grand Prix segment. Then we will be later on starting the new season in FC24 on the Realistic Road to Glory. We found our transfer targets in the last stream, and we'll be enacting those transfer plans throughout the course of the day today. We're very excited about what potentially could be around the corner here in Canada with regards to the capabilities of the car. So thank you to Magic and to Sir Slapper for the follows whilst we were offline. Thank you Wolves Alex as well for the subscription on YouTube. Appreciate it, mate. We have a fully dry weekend until the race itself, which is mixed at present. We set my objectives here. Complete 6 laps, 3 different engine components, no more than 2 collisions with other cars. I really want this one, but it was so far away. So difficult to get that one. So as a refresher, for those of you that missed the last stream or have forgotten since the last F1 segment, Ferrari done a thing. We've done apparently we're quite good now. I've seen it ads. I'll press X on the specialist you want to boost, yep. Let's do that one. Thank you. I thought you were going to say, have you seen the season finale? So apparently, Ferrari car now quite good. Although, we'll go into it when we start recording. Time to hunt down Max Verstappen, perhaps. Right, let me shut the window, and then we can start recording. In fact, I'll start recording now. People outside don't need to hear me waffle on, do they? Probably, Jamie, yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to what promises to potentially be a very exciting episode of the F1 24 driver career. If you missed the last episode, A, go and watch it, you'll enjoy it. B, there was a bit of a revelation at the end. Things have taken a turn, at least on paper, in between the last race and this. Ready? We're now second on the performance index, right behind Haas. Yeah, that happened. Like that, for both of us. Ourselves even more so. We had a number of parts pass. I've nothing in the development at the moment because I haven't got enough resource points. I will do after the first practice sessions here. But Charles has a chassis part and a powertrain part, both of which are major to pass very soon, and the minor durability one too. It's slightly misleading still, though. Our durability is 4th, but that's fine. Our powertrain is the second best, right behind Haas, who have a Ferrari powertrain. Our chassis is supposedly the best on the grid, but with a lot of scope for improvement yet further still. And our aero is still 7th. So we're still probably going to have to run a little bit more downforce. You can see just quite how significantly behind Red Bull, Aston Martin and Mercedes it is. And how significantly ahead of Williams, actually. But Red Bull and Aston Martin in particular, their aero departments are significantly better than ours. And I can only upgrade it a little bit further without dramatically improving my recognition, which ain't happening anytime soon against Charles Leclerc. So we are going to have to put up with a poor aero performance from the car for probably the rest of our time at Ferrari. However, the chassis and powertrain are going to be on point, supposedly. So there is the potential to challenge for a podium here today. Whether that potential manifests itself in actually happening or not, we shall wait and see. We don't know whether, even though Haas are top of the powertrain, or top of the performance index, we saw last season that that was slightly elevated for Haas as well, and actually the chassis and the aero department weren't quite so high up on their chart as well. So it may still be Red Bull and Aston Martin that are the two cars to beat, but we hopefully will be in amongst that mix now. So Charles should hopefully be getting some very, very good results and or victories quite regularly now for the rest of the season. Ferrari are about to bounce back. Mixed conditions for the Grand Prix, but it is dry for every other session. So I'm going to go and get my resource points, hopefully qualify well, and then from there, have a bloody good race. That's the plan anyway. Drop the video a like, subscribe to the channel, come and join me on Twitch, and I'll see you after practice. Bear with, just need to change the setup, or adjust the setup. With regards to the finale, I would have liked a bit more action. But it has set so many things up perfectly for Season 3, hasn't it? We just now need to fucking wait for Season 3. Just adjusting the setup slightly, and then when we've done that, we can hit the track. Yes, that one. Overwrite. Thank you. Right. Yeah, Knights of the Seven Kingdoms or something, isn't it? That's next year. I think a lot of people are expecting a bit more fighty, Bernie than was in the season finale, and they're just a bit disappointed they didn't get all the action they wanted. Science and K-Mag P1 and 2 in quali then. Yeah, probably. Let's do the ERS management with the hards, actually. We'll do the tyre management on the softs, just to see how good the softs are. Again, we might have to tweak the setup slightly. How are we, Finn?
Okay, on this test I want you to focus on managing your ERS. It's really important for our overall race pace, and so a reminder that you've got modes to play with in your MFD. See how they feel for you and see how different modes drain the battery.
She didn't like that. Do fully expect the hard tyre to not be great. Yeah, basically, as.
Nice one. Okay, Reminder, a neat way to recharge the batteries by lifting at certain points when you feel you can and by gentle braking. Try those this lap and see how you get on.
Struggling for traction out of the hairpin. It's probably the only place where it's blatantly obvious that we're struggling for traction. And then the second half of this straight, we are slow in a straight line.
Okay,
Pebble, yay.
test complete, and that was a really good job indeed.
Yeah,
You got
true,
a
the
lot
internet
of
does love their
valuable
pitch rods.
information out of that. Well done.
Don't you fucking start as well, lads. Jesus. Thanks for follow, James. Welcome to the channel, mate.
Okay, we need a few solid laps here to help us calculate a good race strategy.
Good race strategy would be drive fast, finish first. Yeah? Good. Ooh. Steady. Steady. Careful now. I haven't watched any of the F1 Creator Series this year. I just haven't had the opportunity to have the time free to watch it. It did seem like quite a drama-filled, judged by what was going on in the cool-down room, it did seem like quite the walls, did it? It seemed like quite the drama-filled weekend. No worries, Finn. It's as sweaty and as filled with poor driving as ever. Oh, good. Speaking of. Yes, Jordan. The car is upgraded for this Grand Prix. Couldn't quite get that. I thought there was a Red Bull behind me. Really cannot get the power down out of there. Rear wheels just want to spin and spin and spin and spin and spin. Nearly caught me out there, Fernando dipping in the bits. Hey, George. I'm still pretty slow in a straight line. We might have to take some aero out. It's just far too much drag on the car. Wall. Hey Chris, glad you joined the streams, mate. Thank you for coming across and following, pal. Very good of you. Yeah, by all means, feel free to join the Discord. But unfortunately, the Discord that I have is for patrons and subscribers only. But by all means, don't feel pressured into. Don't feel like you're being pressured into paying for something that you don't want to. You want to reach out to me though. You can always do that on Twitter. Is that a... But I did have questions. Jamie. Hello, Millie. How are we, sir? I'm a bot. Jesus, pay attention, Chess. It's quite a work, is it? What happened in the last race was Monaco. We finished where did we finish in Monaco? 7th? I paid out the prediction correctly, Bloz. Waited patiently behind, well, actually not very patiently, rather impatiently, behind Lando Norris for 40 laps and then managed to make the overtake. Yay.
Job well done. We got some excellent data with that run, so come on back to the garage and I can take you through the numbers.
Is this just a practice for Simone Biles, or did she genuinely just fall off?
I told you about the new parts that have come in from the factory, right? Well, they're all fitted and good to go. I hope they do the trick.
exhaust actually genuinely just fell off. Tyre wear looks good. That's handy. The softs do not last around here though, do they? Neil Siri. Ah. Steady. Let's do it on the soft tyre. Do it on the soft tyre.
Because temperature's so important for your tyres, cool down laps are now vital after a push lap so that we don't light up the rubber too much, not to mention recharging the battery. We need to be sure we can manage the tyres through a lap, so try to keep the wear down through each corner. Be especially careful accelerating on corner exits.
Trying to get purple on this. We can. The Kemi Stockport is on Sky Plus this weekend, isn't it? Sky Sports Plus, or whatever the fuck it's called.
Okay, test complete.
Babble.
And that was a really good job indeed. We got a lot
Thanks,
of valuable
Mark.
information out of that. Well done.
Diddly dear, diddly dear. Oh wow, look, a 1 minute 10.000. That's cool. Right, let's take all the fuel out of the car and let's have a quali run. Drive for every session apart from the race, which is mixed, Jordan.
Okay, just 2 laps of fuel remaining now.
That was rubbish. just as bad. Not good. Turns out on a hot lap, there's so much power going to the rear tyres it can't cope. It's grass, Ches. Oh dear. Where's it all gone? Poor exit there, cost me half a tenth. All that power, limited traction indeed. Retire from session.
And that's it. Practice is official.
P1. P1! We had upped it back up to 105. Good, just double checking. And 10. That was a really solid practice session. Afternoon, Davidenki. How are we, lad? We just had a really solid practice session. Like a genuinely, like, oh, that was good practice session. If we can follow it up with a, oh, that was good qualifying session, then there may well be something special on the cards here for us in the Grand Prix at 105 difficulty. Let me just throw the better components in, the least worn components, and pray that they don't die on me at some point throughout the course of this weekend, needing a brand new turbo for this particular round of the championship in the sessions that matter. Fully dry quali. I don't yet know where the weather is in the race. It is mixed conditions, but where the mixed condition is in the balance of the whole 70 laps, I don't yet know.
Everybody.
We will find out in due course, but right now we're going to try and get ourselves through to Q3, and I won't go too far yet, but I have a line in my head that I might like to say a little bit later on. Get the shit jobs done early doors on a Monday, Davidenki, and then you'll be fine moving forward for the rest of the week. I know 8969 from Charles. Double check how much fuel's in it. Yep. 5 kilo, please, of Weepop. Hey, Oren. How are you, mate? Morning, George.
We've dropped to P20.
Don't you dare get in the way, Lewis. Thank you, Mr. Hamilton. Purple sector 1. Although it's not purple anymore. Teeth in the hairpin. Caught the curve rather nastily there, but still good enough for P8. Annoyingly, I might have to run again there because of that mistake at the end of the chicane. If I'd have been able to just nail it out of there, I'd have been a lot... I mean, look at that. I'm only 2/10 off pole. There is less than 1/100th of a second separating the top three. Only 2/10 off P1. Fastest sector 1 of the session so far. I will go out again, but annoyingly, I'm going to have to use an extra set of tyres. Although we don't really anticipate using the softs during the race. What I could do is use... No, I'm kind of annoyed now. I think I'm going to have to go out and set another lap. Or do I trust that there's enough time there? I've got 4/10 in the pocket. Do you think there's 4/10 in the pocket? The tyres... I'll go again on the same set. We'll go again on the same set. And we'll just be very, very kind to the tyres on the way around. That's what we'll do.
Okay,
See if we can
that's all
improve.
the checks
Because there's
complete.
definitely time in it. Because there was a mistake in there that would have cost me a couple of tenths. So we'll go again on the same set. And if I can abandon the lap, because we know we're safe, then I will do. Hello. You can't go around me yet, mate. Oh, Stroll's in the way. Go on. Shogun, you very eager to get going. Even my teammates come out again. That says to me that if Charles isn't confident that he's safe when he's P1, then it was definitely the right idea to come out again. Our fastest lap was a 1:09. Oh, let Charles go. Fastest lap was a 1:09.2. It was a 1:09.2. Was it a late 1:09.1? Let's have a look. Late 1:09.1. Some are going out on their third set using... Lance is on a third set. Lewis is on a third set. Oscar on a third set. That's very peculiar. Using a lot of tyres here in this session. Some of the drivers. But so competitive is it, it seems, at such a short track. A lot of which that's spent at full throttle, that they feel the need to burn through those tyres to guarantee getting through. Thank you for the follow, Tanush. Come on in. Holy moly, worn tyres might not be the one. Worn tyres definitely isn't the one. Oh my god, Fernando's improved by half a second. I should have put a new set on. We did not anticipate this much of a ramp up in track conditions. I'm 15th now. As it stands, we are through by the skin of our teeth. But it is only by the skin of our teeth. Now we're 16th. I'm officially out of qualifying as it stands. We're out of qualifying. I should have put a new set on. The track ramped up by 5 or 6 tenths. We could not have anticipated that. With the spread of the field so tight. Wow. I mean, by 5 milliseconds. By just 5 milliseconds, we're out. Lewis was very, very nearly suffering the same fate as me as well. Lewis gets lucky. I do not. But having made a mistake on my first run and still only been 2 tenths off P1, and even on that first original time being now 7 tenths off P1, I can't believe there was so much time in that second run for everyone else. We pointed out that some were going on their third set of tyres, and you've seen exactly why they felt the need to do that. That's insane. Well, we know we've got a hell of a lot of pace in the car, but we're going to have to come from a long way back if we're to get a good result here in the race. Whew. That's not gone well. That's not gone well at all. So the weather for the race is as you see it above me. Dry, then wet, then dry again. But notice that those clouds, whilst there's a high percentage, there's not much rain coming from those clouds. It is seemingly a bit more of a prolonged spell than just the one segment. So it might rain enough for intermediate tyres and long enough for intermediate tyres. But there may well not be enough wet weather to warrant a switch from dry tyres to intermediates. It might not be worth the extra 2 stops off the dry tyre and off the intermediate tyre to come back to dries later. It might be a case of tiptoeing through the inclement weather to try and manage to lose the least amount of race time possible. It's not a long pit stop loss here, I don't believe. Less than 20 seconds perhaps. So strategy is going to be crucial here. It was already going to be crucial before that qualifying session. And we absolutely would have made it through comfortably if I'd have just run a fresh set of tyres in the second run. We felt with the mistake we made. Wow, 1:17.1.
And it's put him on pole.
Oh, exactly the same time. Lando Norris did a 1:17.161 as well. It's just that Charles will have set that time first. And Verstappen was 1 millisecond slower. The top 3 split by 1 millisecond. Jesus Christ. Okay. And there was definitely rain at the end of the session as well, because they were 1:17s and we were doing 1:09s early in the session. Alonso with a penalty. I still start 16th. And there's a lot of pace in the car and a lot of time to make up. Now, we don't know when that weather is coming. It says there, the forecast is that it's going to come towards the end of the race. But that very much could come a lot sooner than that. There may well be some on hard tyres here. There are a lot on hard tyres here. Now then, do we feel that those hard tyres will go until the rain? Probably. So do I start on a hard set myself and hope to last until the rain? Or do I start on a medium set and try and undercut the others that are on mediums and then go to the hards in the middle stint to then have softs or mediums again at the end of the race to go to? That is the question that is currently in my head. So we would look to do something like this. 22, 26, anticipating at some point going to a wet tyre to then back to the mediums after the rain. It's significantly quicker than the projected, but is it significantly quicker enough? We'll go for 3 laps worth of extra fuel. Medium hard, I think, is probably going to be the way to go. Yeah, medium hard, I think. And we'll box early. We'll box on like lap 20 and try and take those hards all the way to the rain. Because look at how the hard tyre barely degrades at all. We could actually probably even one stop. If I was to take this stint out entirely, we could probably one stop and not be that much slower over the course of a full Grand Prix. We won't do that, but it would be an option to us if the scenario were available. But we will 20... In fact, I'll just set the strategy as I intend it to be. 20, 30, 20. That's what we're planning on doing. 20, 30, 20. We'll box earlier than those that are also on mediums. So we'll look to undercut Piastri. We'll look to undercut Stroll, Hulkenberg and Gasly. And hope that those hard tyres don't last until the rain. I'll also be undercutting Charles as well. So, although he'll be a long way down the road. But those hard tyres are slow. The mediums were about half a second slower than the soft. The hards were about 1.2 seconds slower than soft. Meaning that the hards are about 7/10 a lap slower than the medium. So we should be able to make some positions as well in the meantime. We want to make some positions anyway. The car is quite clearly significantly quick now. I just have been a little bit too confident in qualifying, and it's come back to bite me. But will it bite me twice, or can we recover in the race? We shall find out now. We might be able to get away with softs after the rain, but we're not sure. We're not sure. Let's give you a prediction. I do anticipate us getting to the points. So I will say, are we going to be P7 or higher, P8 or lower? It's a long way to go, and those at the front will get a significant head start on us. But if strategy works in our favour, it's possible. Just give the room a quick cool down whilst you guys are voting. I'll have a quick toilet break, and then zip, zip, zoom, let's go for a run. Sorry, Nat just got home from the shop, so I was just helping her bring the shopping in. Thank you for the follow, TB. Welcome to the channel, mate. Go big or go home. Jordan has zero faith in us. He has indeed gone big against me. How could you? No faith. No faith. Right, let me just give Nat some money. Wah, 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 wah. There you go. Right, let's go racing. It's only you that has no faith. No, Fletch has no faith either.
Okay, so our system checks are good. We need to stay in formation and start bringing the car up to temperature, please. Get some load into the tyres and work the brakes. We want them nice and warm by the end of this lap. Okay, radar is clear, weather is looking good for now.
It's a rare margin in that sport, Darren, yeah. They were all, like, right there, weren't they? To have every single runner crossing the line that close to one another. The whole field, like the field spread was, that's the best word, the way of phrasing it, the field spread was tiny. But yeah, you're right, there is a bit of a difference between cars and humans. Right, after a frustratingly poor qualifying, but that's probably my fault for not choosing the right tyre strategy.
Superb
But
mark in there, mate.
Fernando Alonso and Oscar Piastri back here with me, so we are hopefully surrounded by cars that we could go with through the field. Especially considering we're on a softer compound. It's not going to be much of a run to the first corner, so you're going to have to be really, really careful here not to pick up any damage. It's really, really particularly quite slow in these opening stages of the Canadian Grand Prix. If you could not turn into me there, Mr. Ricardo, that would be great. Tsunoda's through as well. Okay, fine. Kind of bullied their way there. I had to get out the throttle to not get nailed by Daniel Ricciardo. As a result, they just got past me. So, hello. Consider the favour returned. Could have gotten rather rude on the apex there. I didn't. Right. Back where we were. We go again. We'll concertina up through the hairpin as well here. So if we were closer, we could have made some positions, but we're not close enough to do so. There's a bit of battery to try and stay with, although it seems like they are actually quite tasty in a straight line here, some of the other drivers. They're running considerably lower downforce than we are. Absolutely fine though. We will deal with it. We have the battery to do so. Front right tyre hasn't even gotten to 1% yet. Going around the outside of turn 2 at China isn't really a possibility. Up the inside of 3 is, but I've got the run on Piastri here to be able to have a go at it. I am going to be quite antsy to try and make as many positions as possible and not get held up by slow, hard tyre runners here. I think there was
Battery charge is half.
just enough of a brief moment in time between me stopping talking and the yaying happening. Matthew, thank you for the 47th month total and 3 months to the month in a row. Appreciate you very much indeed, my man. Thank you.
Right, let's use that overtake button a bit more.
We are definitely slow in a straight line though, that's for sure. Really concertinaing it up here. We've opened the gap to Ricciardo though, so that's fine. Very comfortable behind now. It might actually be a bit of a hindrance initially, having Piastri and Alonso in front of us, because they're going to have the pace to manage a gap to me if they're not quite so badly held up in front. Daniel Ricciardo is losing quite a bit of time, but I'm informed by my chat that my slight contact with him at turn 2, lap 1, resulted in him losing a bit of front wing. So, sorry Daniel, but not sorry Daniel. You got a bit too aggressive, tried to turn in on me, and, well, you've come off second best. We need to start making some moves, though, please, Fernando and Oscar, if you don't mind. Let's start to get further up the field, thank you. Charles is disappearing out front, as you can notice by the minimap. He and Max pulling away from a bit of the pack, which is really refreshing to see. Charles Leclerc turning what was a very strong qualifying performance into what could be a very strong race performance as well. Right. We need to start making some moves, please. The three of us, not just me, but Fernando and Oscar as well. Time to start actually getting up through the pack, please. I'm going to try it. Oh, it's just too tight.
Back, we're seeing a gap starting to form.
I'm going to have to get brave somewhere. We're trying, I'm contemplating 5/10. I don't know whether 5/10 is close enough. Yep, I'm having a look. Oscar's going to leave a bit of a gap because it's a late apex around that hairpin.
Nice move. Good job.
Still right here with me. I'm the one in the slipstream at the minute of Fernando Alonso. Now he's going to be the one in the slipstream, but we are just clear of him. That's Piastri dealt with, and he's the medium runner. So in theory, it's going to be the more difficult to get past. Now we have some hard runners to attack. So let's get through them, please. Try the same move on Fernando that we did on Oscar Piastri. No, I'm not close enough. I might use all my battery though. If I could just get past Alonso, the other two hopefully going to be a bit more straightforward, so I'll use a lot of battery here. Oh, he's gone defensive. I didn't anticipate it. He moved very late there, Fernando. That was a bit naughty. I used all my battery there to try and close the gap and have a run on him. And just as I went to pull out,
0.1 seconds.
he jinxed right very, very late in the day. It's probably just before the braking zone, but only just. A very fine margin there. Fernando taking a few liberties, being a little bit naughty. As Fernando has the trait to do in real life, sometimes he really does push the limits of what is and isn't acceptable with racecraft. Might try. If I can get a better exit out of this chicane here coming up then. And I did last lap. Which I have done, but I'm actually still further behind. It's just so slow around the apex. Oh, I'm desperate to get past. This is really holding us up. I know it's only lap 6 of 70. There's a long way to go, but if he goes defensive again, Fernando, which I think he might do. This time he hasn't. Oh, he did! Again, very, very late. That's so naughty! Like, the brake... You can see where the braking's only because we got the racing line on. Like, I pull out, showing my hand, and he then reacts late into the braking zone and jinx right himself. We only just narrowly miss the front wing on the back of his car, but we do make the corner. Fernando is being particularly strong in defence, is the word used in, or phrase used in chat. I'd be a bit harsh in saying Fernando's being a little bit of a dick, but we are through at least. I certainly would be reporting that to the stewards in real life, yes. Don't even think about it, Fernando.
To the car behind.
Right behind Alex Albon here. Launch up the inside. I'm not going to be patient with it. It's not Monaco. We're not spending 40 laps behind the car in front to then make the overtake. I need to get past, and I need to get past now, and we have. These first few cars have taken a little bit longer to get through than I hoped they would do, but we are at least getting through them. And look at the gap that Charles Leclerc is opening out up front. Being able to compete with my teammate is going to become even more and more difficult as the car gets better and better. The fact that Charles is Charles is going to make him really quite a formidable foe. Hopefully we can take Esteban into turn 1. I just got to nail this chicane. Oh my god, he's so slow in there. Good. Why is he braking that hard? What the fuck? I'll stay behind. Don't worry about including that in the video, Chris. It's going in here so slow.
gap to the teammate ahead of us. 16.0 seconds.
The hards can't be that bad, surely.
Okay, expect to see some rain.
Oh,
about 10 to 15
wow,
minutes from
okay.
now.
That is so much earlier than forecast. 10 to 15 minutes for the rain. Those hard tyre runners aren't going to have to box again. Maybe we should have started on the hards. Esteban, are you going to go defensive? No, he's not as naughty as Fernando. But unluckily for him, he's not as fast as Fernando either. So he's going to go defensive into one. I'll just quite simply go all the way around the outside of him and just about manage to keep it on track. That rain is coming at a really
Good job.
inopportune moment, annoyingly, because the medium tyres might need to come off before the rain hits. We're going to be in a really precarious position. Because if the rain doesn't come hard enough to warrant changing tyres either, then we're just going to be delaying a pit stop
Condition still looking
for the sake of waiting to go to intermediate tyres that we don't inevitably need to go on to. This is a really tricky scenario now. We needed the rain to come
3.8
half an
seconds.
hour later than it actually is going to. Unless that's a early,
Caution, caution.
careful, not, I nearly repeated what they were saying in front of me there. Unless it's an early call that actually isn't quite as accurate. Carlos Sainz is out. His engine's let go. You saw him there
Flag.
at the back of the hairpin. That's a position for us against one of the faster supposed cars on the grid. And we have significantly closed the gap on those in front because they had to get out of the way of the slowing and retiring Carlos Sainz. So, whilst the weather might be working against us, other scenarios, other situations, other happenings are potentially working for us. Oh Christ, these medium tyres are certainly letting me know that they're getting through their wear on the rear tyres. Lap 11 of 70. I will ask again about the rain because it might be slightly more.
Expecting rain in about
Still 10 to 15 minutes.
Okay, dry seem like the best tyre for now.
10 to 15 minutes is just awkwardly positioned about our pit stop. Oh, I don't know what to do. It's just going to be a case of keeping an eye on what is happening with the weather and playing it by ear. Someone is boxing already. Oh, fuck me. Keep an eye on what's happening and playing it by ear. End of highlight. Pierre Gasly has boxed, so he must have gotten some damage from trying to negotiate his way around the retiring Haas. So Gasly's in. His race is effectively not ruined, but significantly hampered, and we're now racing inside the points.
Stroll ahead. Right, here we go.
Lance Stroll just over a second ahead, just out of DRS range, but Nico Hülkenberg is going to be, well, you would think, a rather straightforward target for him, and then you can see on the minimap the gap to the pack in front of that, where those faster cars are positioned. It is sizable. I'm not quite going to be within DRS range of those in front, but we are relatively safe to those behind. We should be, within the next couple of laps, within DRS range of Stroll and Hülkenberg, and hopefully past them also. Apologies for the slightly awkward editing that needs to go on there, Chris, but I'm sure you've edited more awkward previously from me. That's DRS on Stroll and Hulkenberg. Oh. My medium tyre supposedly in the race strategy program in practice wore quite well in comparison to everyone else. But I'm so slow through that right-left chicane. I've actually fallen out of DRS range again as we're on our way into this part of the circuit, which is particularly frustrating.
Use your overtake button more.
So I am going to have to use my overtake button a bit more to utilise some of the extra power available to me to get the gap down a bit more so that I'm then within DRS range for this part of the circuit, and then we're very much in business with the guys getting through Stroll and Hulkenberg. One of the two of them locked up there, not sure which. Stroll is thinking about having a go at the Alpine.
Losing a small amount of time to the
And
car
is he
behind.
thinking about having a go? He's having the go and getting the go done, because he'll have the inside line for turn 3. Although Hulkenberg has the better exit and Stroll gives in. Lance, you've got to be a bit more bullish than that, mate, if you want to make sure that you get up the order. You're in a very quick car. And Fernando's going to be showing you up. That said, Fernando is behind me. And Lance is in front of me, so far he's actually doing better than his teammate. Stroll is thinking about having a go at Nico again. And Nico's going to go defensive. They're going to be slow through here. If I could get a good exit, maybe we could have taken them, but I was too close to really fully commit to the corner. Stroll thought about having a go around turn 1, 2 and 3 again, but that's not going to work for him. And I just can't quite get the exit out of 2. It's so slippery there. One of the hardest parts of the entire Formula 1 calendar in terms of getting your power down to the surface. Well, we're very much quicker than both these cars in front at the moment, but that's quicker over the course of a full lap. Unfortunately, at the moment, in the key areas where overtakes can be made, I'm not quite competitive enough in the part of track just prior to actually be in a position to have a go. Go deep here and then try and cut back. Jesus Christ, the fuck was that? Someone hidden a molehill under the ground? The hell was that? Just riding the curb a little bit and then all of a sudden, whoa, what? What's that all about? That's nonsense. I've gone airborne. Whee! Over absolutely nothing. Right, okay. Let's try that again, shall we? The fuck? So having a look at the other side of Nico Hulkenberg this time. Fuck's sake. What are you doing? Try again. Stroll having a look at the other side of Nico Hulkenberg this time. And will he get it done on this occasion? Looks like it's roles reversed. I thought about maybe trying to have a go around the outside of Hulkenberg myself there. Now the Aston Martin should have the pace to just disappear down the road now. Although Nico will have DRS to his advantage, and that might help balance out the performance advantage that Lance has in the faster car. Wanting to make some more time if we can, some more positions. Finding it very difficult to do so. We're making some good time when we got free air, but then when we get stuck behind some traffic, it's not as straightforward as we might hope to get through. So slow through some of the turns though, but they're so good in the traction zone that it's impossible to build the speed. We'll try and use a lot of battery here as Lance has gotten a bit of a gap. Go defensive, go defensive, go defensive, go defensive, go defensive. He didn't. I'll be inside, get the move done. I'll let him have the position back. That wasn't particularly legal. I cut the chicane. Ocon's having a run at me, but he's not going to get through. There's no point waiting for the stewards to give me a 5-second penalty for leaving the track and gaining an advantage. We'll give the position back to Nico, which inadvertently has actually weakened his position because he's now out of DRS range of Lance Stroll in front. And still 15 minutes till the rain. Now they said ETA 10 to 15 minutes 6 laps ago. Now they're saying another 15 minutes. Our strategy then remains unchanged. Mediums to the hards on lap 20.
Just so you know, we're getting some strange readings
And then
on a couple of the sensors, so I don't think you need to be
we
worried.
think
It's bad
that the
data.
hard tyre runners
Keep doing what you're doing. I'll let you know
will
if
still be
there's
able to make it
anything
to the rain, but we should have the pace to close up on them. I don't think boxing for another set of mediums is the play, because the rain could come a bit later on, yet further still. Nico's going to go defensive. We have to get right on the brakes. Try and get him into one though if we can. With ERS and DRS,
No need to worry
I'm going to
about
go for the
timing.
inside
Now
line
it's
here.
looking good.
Don't even think about it, Nico. I'm having that
Approach the
position,
window
thank
now,
you.
and you're gonna be on hards next time.
8 seconds to gap to Kevin Magnussen in a minute. That front group have gotten quite a way down the road, haven't they? Thanks to some slower moving cars in front. Lance clearly showing the pace that he would be with that front group had he been able to find a way past Nico Hulkenberg slightly earlier. The Alpine slowing everybody up. He's now already dropped nearly a full second behind us. I'm trying to catch up with Lance. It might take a couple of laps. No, I am thinking we will still box lap 20 and go on to the hards and try and undercut some of the other medium runners. I think it's only Lance and my teammate in front that are still on the mediums. Indeed it is. So we will look to undercut them both. Charles will be just for time. Lance will be hopefully for position. And then we'll be on a much fresher set of hard tyres than those in front of us, as they will go to the rain on their hards. I'll go to the rain on my hards, but we'll have a 20-lap tyre advantage on those in front of us, which should be just enough, I think, to overturn the gap before the rain then falls. Josh, thank you for the follow, mate. No, Nico.
Our ahead starting to create a gap. They're just starting
Yes,
to pull
Nico,
away from us
apparently.
now.
ERS and DRS clearly working for Nico Hulkenberg in retaliation to me. My rear tyres are starting to have a bit of a wiggle on now, so I'd be sorely tempted to box lap 19 for hard tyres. And I think I may well do. We're gonna
Confirmed, we'll receive you at the end of this
hard
lap.
tyres at the end of this lap. Don't drive into me, Esteban. I held my line. You turned into me, mate. Stop it. We'll have DRS on Hulkenberg. and will be far enough behind that hopefully we'll be able to avoid the back of him as he slows for the chicane and we go barreling on in towards the pit lane. Right, enough of a gap behind to not need to worry about that, because they too will be braking for the chicane, and I can go straight on in here to the pits.
Okay, don't worry
Right,
about that target for now.
strategy
We'll work on a new objective later.
is at play. Positive or negative, time will tell.
Okay,
Crucially,
go,
a
go,
good
go.
pit stop
That was a
this time.
fantastic stop, faster than we were expecting. Okay, stay clear of the white line on the exit. We'll receive a penalty for dangerous driving if you cross onto the track.
Right, I need a lot of grip from these halves now, and a lot of pace, please, too.
Okay, we have a problem with ERS.
Oh,
We
you're
have a problem
kidding
with
me.
ERS.
What is it with this Ferrari car and the ERS failing me? I'm not sure if it's fixed again, but I imagine that's me losing a lot of straight line speed just after my pit stop. So one imagines that won't fix itself until I box again. Trying to use whatever ERS I can to my advantage here, but I don't know how it's working. The gap to Daniel Ricciardo will tell us whether we are or are not losing a lot of straight line speed, which it seems that we are.
Here's the gap that we're trailing the car ahead by.
Unbelievable. What is the
1.9
timing? If I'd have just waited 2 more laps, then that would have broken itself, and then with the pit stop they could have fixed it, even though it's unrealistic that it would fix with a pit stop when it's a software issue, really, but that's how the game fixes it, I think, with a box. Oh, are you kidding me?
Some of this energy.
Hopefully it's just a very, very brief failure and we're back in action very soon. We just took 3/10 out of Théo Pourchaire through there, but then he's opening it back up on us down the straights. He's not in DRS of the car in front, so I'm going to use my battery now and see what happens with the gap. If it comes down still or maintains, then the ERS is fixed. It's not fixed, but it's equally not massively broken. We're still gaining time. Okay. I think we'll be okay. I hope we'll be okay. Charles Leclerc is in on lap 22. I imagine Lance Stroll will do the same. And Nico Hülkenberg, either on 22 or 23. Let's have a look. Still waiting for them to actually get to the pit lane. They had such an advantage, those front few. Lance Stroll is in the box. Nico Hülkenberg is in the box.
We're expecting some rain soon. Expect the first
Next
drop
few
in the next
minutes. You've gone from 10 to 15 minutes to 15 minutes to now. What? If you'd have said that earlier, I wouldn't have bloody pit, you twat. They have no idea what's going on with the forecast. No idea whatsoever what's going on with the forecast. We are going to undercut Lance Stroll. And Nico Hülkenberg? No, we're not going to undercut Lance Stroll. The loss of the DR, we have undercut. No, Piastri was behind us anyway, wasn't he? That loss of ERS, albeit brief,
Okay, mate.
it's cost us the opportunity.
We can. We're setting you a new target. Push, push.
Achieve 14th position, currently 16th. We want me to achieve 14th by lap, well, within 7 laps basically. By lap 30-ish. What in the world? I can't believe that the rain has come. Oh, Jesus Christ.
The car ahead's come in to fit the mediums.
No,
Car
mediums
ahead now
as
running
well.
Medium tyres.
That should mean, though, that it will mean that they'll have to go to hard tyres at the end of the race, whereas we'll be able to go to mediums. I just hope I don't lose too much time in the meantime. Oh no, that was Gasly in front. Hulkenberg is in the pits now. So we are going to get Nico Hulkenberg here. They've gone to mediums. It's 15th. Gasly boxed quite early as well, if you remember, from getting damage off the back of the retiring Haas. So Gasly's going to be at a disadvantage to us here, pace-wise, and we should quite significantly close on him. The clouds, however, are quite significantly closing on everyone at the minute, and those hard-tired runners are going to be able to go all the way to the rain without having to stop. We're on lap 24 of 70, and it said on the forecast that rain wasn't going to come until the last third of the race, which would be lap 50-ish. The rain has come twice as quickly as it was forecast to do, which has thrown our strategy right out the window. Dylan and Zero Wars, welcome to the channel, lads. It was the last 3 segments, Darren. It was well over halfway.
Issues with tyre wear for now. Keep taking care of them.
Lance is having a look at Gasly. He's going to get through, I think. It's exactly the same move he used on Nico Hulkenberg earlier, and that was raindrops. The rain is here. Now, what we're actually now hoping is that the rain doesn't fall heavily enough to force intermediate running. Now our strategy will only work in terms of getting us a long way up the field if the rain isn't very heavy and doesn't force intermediate tyres. But already into that last braking zone, I felt quite a bit of instability.
These conditions are making the line a bit greasy.
But as they say, we're still nowhere near the changeover. I'm going to try and use DRS here on Gasly and ERS to get past him and close with Lance Stroll. Lance on mediums is going to be very hard to stick with. If I can get past Pierre, then we might be able to stick with him. I'm going to go for Pierre into turn 1. Try and get a good exit. That was poor. I'll stay behind. I don't deserve to take the position by cutting the chicane like that. It's my own detriment, but I shouldn't have cut the chicane, so I would have gained an advantage. It does, however, mean Stroll is gone. And, well, the track is getting very slippy. DRS might be disabled very soon. If it is, expect to see a lot of drivers in for intermediate tyres.
Right, we need to get past
Oh
here.
my God,
Overtake.
there's no grip.
Overtake.
Fucking hell. We'll set intermediates as my next tyre. I don't think it's going to be long. The front runners are in now. And if Charles pits as well, yep, everybody's boxing. It's intermediate tyre weather now. Going one more lap just isn't the right call.
Charles is in for his stop
Yeah.
now.
Everyone's going into Even though DRS is still active,
Can't take you right now. Pit next lap.
everyone's going into... the pit strategy just hasn't worked for us because the rain has come so much earlier than we wanted it to. Damn it! We were making good progress too. In we box for intermediate tyres. Oh, balls. And DRS disabled as we cross the line. Now please don't have a slow stop.
We can work on a new objective later.
Thank you. Let me out, let me out, let me out. Oh, you... 5.2 second stop's horrendous. It's so bad. We would have jumped Lance Stroll if they'd not messed that stop up.
Okay, we had an issue attaching the left.
Oh, I know you had an
It's
issue.
not ideal, but let's try and put that behind us now and get back into this race. Pit strategy complete. See these tyres through to the end now.
No. It will dry up again before the end of the race. We just have to hope that it dries up far enough that they can't put softs on and they will opt for a brand new set of hards, I think, rather than the mediums they've just run. And obviously those at the front will box for medium tyres because they've run their hards already. So I think any chance of a podium or a top 5 is probably out the window now, barring a safety car. Qualifying didn't go to plan. The race is not going to plan.
Conditions are only getting worse. Watch out for standing water. Okay, keep an eye on that gap ahead, please. 2.0 seconds. The rain's getting worse. Be very careful. Inters look like the best tyre for now. Behind is dropping back by about 0.3 a lap. Well done.
It's kind of a traction down. Even short shifted then. And the rear end still just span and span and span. No, it's nowhere near full wet tyres, Jamie.
Inters seem to be the fastest tyre for now. Okay, you're catching the car ahead, but remember, we need to get to the end of the race on these tyres. Okay, mate, Stroll is ahead of you. We don't want to let this hold us up too long, so do your best to get past and get on with the race.
Fuck's sake.
Okay, so gap to the car ahead, 1.6 seconds. Okay, I think we're still on the right tyres for the time being. No tyre concerns at the moment, just focus on the driving.
I am concentrating very hard on the driving, thank you.
And gap to the car in front, 1.5 seconds.
Fuck's sake. I'm trying to short shift out the hairpin and it's just not working. It's just like, no, too soon. Thank you for the follow, King Lenny. Oh, we might still be able to make this work to our advantage, but not for as bigger a gain as we hoped we would.
battery charge is high. Let's use that overtake button a bit more. Gap to your teammate ahead, 33.6 seconds. They're on a fresh set of inters. They're in third. And the time last lap, 1 minute 20.7.
Charles's last lap was half a second quicker than mine. 20.7. I did a 21.2. We just did a 21.6. I suck in the rain. Rephrase. The AI have too good traction in the rain. In the traction zones, I'm running more downforce than they are, and I quite simply cannot put the power down at all without just spinning up. Whereas this part especially, they just gain 2, 3, 4 tenths on me in a straight line, even when I'm using battery. That went from 6 tenths to 1.2. That's more than half a second just in that one bit of racetrack. Just because they can put the power down, and for whatever reason you as the user can't. It feels slightly unfair, but what can you do? So, just wheel spin in 5th. Sideways wheel spin. It is indeed a pretty car, Fabio, you're right. Up the Ferrari, Forza Ferrari.
Tyre situation's an interesting one, but I think the right call is to stick with what we've got for now.
I think they're contemplating going to full wets, which would be intriguing. I don't know whether the full wet would offer much more than the Inter at the minute. Nico Hulkenberg behind is boxing again, in fact. Is Nico going to the full wet tyre? I just glanced at the Delta's top left to see that Nico had disappeared from behind me. We've got a 4.6, 4.5 second gap now on Piastri and closing. Because we're stuck behind a bloody Sauber at the minute. Has Nico gone to the full wet tyre? Yes, he has. It seems that the full wets is the play. So I imagine everyone in front of us will make that switch very soon, and we shall probably do the same.
Charles is in the pits.
Fucking grip, you cunt.
Charles is in for his stop now.
Everyone's electing to double stack rather than go an extra lap.
Pit box is
And that
currently
double
blocked.
stack
Stay out on
has
track.
seen
Stay out.
Charles Leclerc jump into P2
Okay,
just
don't worry
at the
about
line,
that target
able to
for
slow
now.
it down
We'll work
enough.
on a new objective later.
So Charles is up into P2 now. Now don't fuck this stop up like you did the last one.
Okay, let's
Thank
go
you.
now. Come on.
5.2 turns into 2.5. And we've jumped Lance Stroll. And Zhou Guan Yu. We're up to P13. Good. Finally, something in the pits goes my way today. They get the traction down so stupidly well in the wet weather conditions that you just can't cope with it. Fucking wheel spin, wheel spin, wheel spin, wheel spin. Fuck off, Lance.
Okay, so heavy rainfall here to stay for a while. Doesn't look like it's moving on anytime soon. Okay, full wet seems to be the fastest tyre for now. Right, we need to get past here. Use overtake. Use overtake.
I'm gonna get stuck on a bloody Sauber again. Like, visually, they're going sideways out the corner, but they're accelerating harder than I can in a straight line.
Tyre condition still looking good.
Obviously, we only boxed like fucking 2 laps ago, you moron. It's like it tells you stuff for the sake of telling you stuff. Like, I know my tyre condition still looks good. I've only just put them on. Shut up. Get a run on Yuki here, maybe? Maybe, if I hadn't lost the back end on the way out the chicane. It's not the right conditions. Nor does the car perform well enough in these conditions to go for a lunge there like that. We'll stop behind a Sauber now. Not sure whether it's Ocon or Zhou.
Okay, mate. Right, we've got a full battery, which means we can use more of it to gain performance. Let's go.
I'm trying, mate. I don't know whether you noticed, it's a bit wet. It just disappears in a straight line. It's just a fucking farce. This is why I pray for dry weather every race weekend. Because in the wet... Look at the traction there. That just went from 1.1 to 1.2 to 1.3 in the space of 50 metres. It's fucking stupid. Fuck off, Lance.
Great stuff. It looked like you made easy work of that target. Let's try and keep that going right through to the end of the race.
Steads, thank you very much for gifting a sub to the channel, mate. It's very kind of you. Very first... Oh, I'm trying to concentrate on reading and talking and driving. First one gifted to the channel. Thank you, pal. Brad, welcome to the game, my man. Some wet weather respite. Appreciate it, mate. Very kind of you. Can I? Do I? Probably yes. Give Yuki a bit of a squeeze on the apex. The RB dispatched P12. Oh, that has been painful in bringing it about, but at least it has happened. If we could just somehow manage to compete with the front few in these conditions, that would be great. But at the minute I'm struggling with the midfield to try and dispatch them in these conditions because I can't get the power down, whereas they can. Oh, I'm struggles, chat, I'm struggles, but we are getting there. Points will come today, provided the car doesn't shit out on me and something breaks on it. But how many remains to be seen. John, thank you very much for gifting 5 to the channel. It's very good of you, mate. Let me just cool the office down a little bit. We are starting to get sweaty again. Melanie, Jews, Luke, Isco and Stump. Welcome to the gang, boys and girls, of course. Appreciate it. Thank you, John. It's very good of you, indeed. Oh, intriguing. Ads has just said, just for reference, the full wets in 24 are really, really, really awful. Like, they are pointless using unless it's full monsoon weather in game, which barely ever happens. So even if the game suggests wets, you'll be faster on inters 90% of the time as the wets perform that bad. If that information had been parted to me prior to my pit stop for full wets, Ads, I might have stayed out on the inters. Unless you feel these conditions are genuinely still monsoon enough to warrant the wet tyre. And in the 10%. Oh, you tried it. I was too focused, sorry. You left the Discord the for after. I missed it. I genuinely missed it in chat. I apologise. Tej, thank you for the follow, mate. Welcome to the channel. Still 29 degrees in the office. Cool the fuck down, please. Fucking Laura, give me a break. Oh, me. Intriguingly, I have an objective that says perfect one practice program during a race weekend, which I did twice. So does that not register until after the race weekend rather than after practice? Because I did perfect the race strategy and the ERS. Alex confirmed it as well, did he? Well, hopefully. Hopefully. I don't know, switching back to Inters now would be the right play, to be honest. They'd probably run out of tread. I wouldn't really want to utilise a game bug, though, to inadvertently help me gain loads of positions. Right, if the realistic thing is to be on the wet tyre, then obviously we should try and follow suit, really, then use a game mechanic failure to our advantage. I don't know when the switch from wets to inters will come again. I don't have a favourite driver, Tom. Oh, of all time, Damon Hill. I don't have a favourite current driver. But of all time, Damon Hill. We're now catching the RB in P... Oh no, never mind. That's Ricciardo a lap down. Oh dear, Daniel, your races. We thought our race hadn't quite gone according to plan. Daniel Ricciardo is about to be lapped just over halfway through the race by the top 14 drivers. Could we maybe sneak? If Daniel does it poorly and letting through those in front, no, he's just going to get out of the way here, and if anything, I'm going to be the one to lose out on time. Yep, I'm going to be the one to lose out on time. Sick. No, he's going to let us through before the hairpin. We haven't really lost anything. Thank you, Daniel. Sorry, mate. Your race has been shafted more than my own.
conditions don't look like they're shifting. We're predicting at least 20 minutes of heavy rainfall. Full wet seem like the best tyre for now.
He said it was going to dry up before the end. It's just not gonna, is it? Now this feels like Monaco, stuck behind a car for Christ knows how many laps trying to find a way past. Whilst not dying. It's so slow around the haircut. I've got to run, I've got to run, I've got to run. Going for it. The inside of Gasly. P11. Oh, it's slow progress, but it is progress. Esteban Ocon next in front. Hopefully he won't be as difficult to overtake in a very poor Sauber as Gasly, Tsunoda and Stroll have been. Getting it. The fuck are you doing, Pierre? Oh, Esteban's locked up. Thank you. Well, if you're just going to hand me it, I will take it gladly. In the points. Although 10.5 seconds to the car in front and another 9 seconds from him to the car in front of him. So 10th might be as far as we get. I hope not, but 10th might be as far as we get. Still saying...
Rain looks like it's going to be getting much lighter over the
Okay.
next 10 to 15 minutes. There should be more grip, but don't expect a dry track yet. Okay, full wet seems to be the fastest tyre for now.
So we might be back to inters soon. Maybe. We also might be on dries before the end of the race. I don't know. Unclear as to how quickly it will dry up. And if it will completely dry up at all before the race ends. But the gap in front is still 10 point something, but the gap behind is just completely opened up. But Ocon is slow and obviously did make a big mistake last lap here at the hairpin. We'll try and close. I think the gap to Alonso is just growing though. We might be closing on Albon, but gap to Fernando Alonso is just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Propen Burrito for the 30th month in a row. Thank you, mate. Russell and Freddie, thank you for the follows, and Sean as well.
Okay, mate. Right, we've got some clear track in front of us, so let's make best use of it and make the next lap a quick one. You got this.
I'll have a look then.
Forecasts suggest the rain's going to be lightening up over the next 10 to 15 minutes or so. We should start finding more grip as we clear the standing water. Full wet seemed like the best tyre for now. Yes, mate, we hit the target. Nice work.
Well, thanks. annoying is how the race has been. Too busy trying to do that and drive and turn at the same time. Which was a terrible decision, Chaz. Just wait till the fucking straight before bringing the radio up, you moron.
Right, the gap to the teammate ahead of us, 49.0 seconds. They're on old wets. They're in second. Your last lap time, 1:21.8. Okay, full wet seems to be the fastest tyre for now.
Back off.
Radar showing a clear patch on its way. There's about 10 more minutes of this rain. Full wets seem like the best tyre for now.
Stop. Rear tyres have had it, but there's no point changing yet. The question we have to ask now is, with the clearer patch on its way, but far enough out that we're probably not going to get any dry running between now and the end of the race, with a racing line clearing as much as it is, do we feel like, A, is it going to switch to intermediate tyres before the end? And B, if we feel it is, do we preempt that and try and go 2 or 3 laps early and pray that we're quick enough? Because the racing line is getting bigger and bigger here. The water is being shifted. They say that the rain is drying up soon.
Keep it up. We're looking at about 10 more minutes of rain. 10 minutes. The rain's getting lighter now, but it's going to take a while for the track to dry out. Okay, full wet seems to be the fastest tyre for now.
I'm entering. I am intermediating. The racing line has just been getting wider and wider and wider. It's a giant gamble, but what have we got to lose other than a single point? So, we might as well. Basing this decision of the fact that A, everyone else is going to be on really worn wets, and B, that racing line is looking quite sizable at the minute. There's still some standing water, so staying on the racing line is going to be beneficial to us. We can't really afford to drift off it. But I feel like there's probably some pace in the car here in differing positions, and then if we do end up going back to dry tyres at any point, everyone's going to have softs to go to, and we will do the same. If we end up drying up enough to go to soft tyres, dry tyres. Not sure yet if we are or aren't on the right tyre, but doesn't appear to be too much difference in it at the moment. Temperatures are fine. The Inters aren't too hot or too cold. Certainly through the corners we have some pace. But continually through the traction zones, it's all AI. Piastri's trying to get past Esteban Ocon here and doing an absolutely terrible job of it. I might try for Zhou here. Stop. It's a lunge, but it's a lunge that's worked. That Zhou Guan Yu dealt with. Ocon and Piastri. Well, Ocon got caught on the grass there. You saw the car have a bit of a wiggle. It's going to put him out of position. They're both going to go, what, offensive and defensive at the same time. And unfortunately, they just blocked any avenue I had of taking either of them. This is costing us so much time. If we were perhaps going to be able to undercut Alex Albon when he goes on to intermediate tyres, if indeed they do box again for another set of the lesser intense wet tyre when the track starts to dry up, we need to get past this lot quickly and go with Piastri. I'm going for it on Esteban. I feel like I've got the grip, and I do. Excuse me, Esteban, I'm through. Ta, bye. Right, Oscar, come back, please. Take me with you, mate. You can visibly see that the track has, the rain has eased. It's not raining anywhere near as heavily as it was previously, or even close to it. I just wonder whether, if we do get some dry running, and it is a big if, whether they go straight from the wets to dries and actually disregard an intermediate stint altogether, and we just boxed an extra time for the sake of trying something that ultimately won't work. I've no idea right now. But as the track dries further, on worn wets, surely, on new inters, we will just get quicker and quicker and quicker in comparison. And with 11 laps, 12 including the one we're on to go, can we get back to where we were? I think that's as certain. Can we get back to maybe challenging Alex Albon for a P9? Unsure. Definitely faster than Piastri though right now. How much is very evident. practically pushing him around the hairpin. They've got to stop soon to change, surely, because this is silly. We've got so much extra pace and so much extra grip. Excuse me, Oscar. Toodaloo. I'm after Nico. Night, Luke, mate. Catch you later, dude. We're so much faster. It's not even a competition now. We've opened up 2 seconds on Oscar Piastri in a McLaren in the space of the lap since we overtook him. We are, without doubt, the fastest man on track right now. But are we fast enough to make up what we lost from the stop? Ten laps to go.
Okay, mate, lap times are a little erratic at the moment. We need consistency, so let's try and stabilise them.
You have to brake so early for the for the chicane there. So that's going to give me any room on the outside. Not much, but they're going to have to brake much earlier than I can, or than I need to. Sorry. I can brake much later than they can. That's P12. You can see P10 just down the road in front of us after Tsunoda. So that's where we were in terms of overall race position. In terms of track position, though, we're still quite a way behind where we were because we were closing on Alex Albon, weren't we? And they're closing up to about 5.5 to 6 seconds. And that gap is still considerably quite sizable. But we're definitely going to get P10. It's just a case of whether we can get P9 or not. Excuse me, Yuki. That's P11. Come here, Pierre. 17.2 seconds to Alex. It's a lot to try and make up in 8 laps. It's 100% intermediate weathers right now, though, you're right. forcing my way past Pierre. He could see where I was. He saw me coming. He did allow me the space, which was very kind of him. But he knew that it was only a matter of time before we got past him. There's barely any water left on the track now. Definitely been intermediate weather conditions or intermediate tyre conditions for a considerable period of time now. Our lap times continually are getting faster and faster and faster. Theirs, I imagine, are getting slower and slower and slower. As even if it were still the old conditions, their lap times surely would be getting slower with worn tyres. The fact that it's even coming away from the ideal conditions for the tyres that are on as they were, they should in theory just be getting slower and slower and slower. They're being very stubborn in not making that extra stop to go back to Inters now. But I imagine maybe they're just holding out for dry conditions. The gap to Fernando is giant. 32 seconds to Fernando Alonso in P8. He's going over the start-finish line now. That's how far ahead he is. So he's opened up the gap even on Alex Albon, let alone the gap that we had previously before we pit. Albon, I feel like we could maybe well catch. Obviously, Alonso's going to be an absolute no. Albon, I think, is probably a matter of time now. And it's now literally stopped raining. There won't be enough time to try and stop for a dry set of tyres and earn the time back. We now just have to hope that our intermediates last better in dry conditions than their worn wets. So, a battle of attrition now. So I'm going to drive offline, try and keep the temperatures as cool as I can. But everyone is going to be running on very hot rubber now. But there's just not enough time left in the race to earn back any pit stop time. Oh, if only it had dried up on lap 55, not 65. So the rain stopped when it said it would with a forecast. But it arrived 20 laps earlier than it said it would with the forecast. And lasted a lot longer than it said it would. And rained a lot heavier than it said it would. Whoever Ferrari have figuring out the weather forecast, I think should be moved to a different department. Because they've not really any idea what they're talking about, as far as I can make out. Yellow flag behind us as an Alpine is retiring. I think, or is he just letting through? No, I think he's retiring. Wasn't sure initially if he was just letting through letting through the leaders. Hulkenberg retires. Unfortunately, we don't. Oh, DRS enabled. Lol. Unfortunately, we don't gain anything from Nico's retirement, but that, if ever you needed the sign that it was definitely dry weather running again. The fact that DRS has been enabled is that sign, and my rear tyres are now starting to overheat. But you imagine theirs are even worse, right? They have to be, surely. surely theirs are even worse. We've got 3.5 laps to close 5.5 seconds on Alex Albon for a second point. If I hadn't have ballsed up qualifying, we may well have been challenging for a much stronger final position. Maybe a top 5. Although, so slow was I in the wet that maybe I would have fallen to about where I am now anyway. They're boxing! They are boxing for dry tyres. Alright, with 3 laps to go, everyone is starting to box for dry tyres. And the plot thickens yet further. But some of them don't have soft tyres to go to, whereas I do. Oh, slow on the... God damn it, Ferrari, you're so bad! They're just so bad! Whether it's reliability on the car, whether it's... Oh, terrible pit stops. That's 2 in this one race. We've had countless so far this season already, and it's only round 8 of the championship. But now I've lost all my tyre advantage. Oh, God. Now I've lost all my tyre advantage. I'm not going to catch Alex Albon. I don't have that much extra pace on the Williams in these conditions. So it will be P10 for us today. If it had stayed as was and people weren't going to box, I could have made that position up. Because we definitely were gaining. Purple middle sector, but it's just too little, too late. That pit stop cost me... Well, we were almost within 5 seconds of Alex as we came into the box, so it cost me almost 3 full seconds. I would have gotten Alex Albon. Unfortunately, we will not. It'll be P10 only today. 2 laps to go. We start our final lap then. There is a Mercedes about to win the race. So I believe is going to be George Russell. Lance Stroll sets the fastest lap as he crosses this line. And there you go. Oh, it's Lewis Hamilton. Lewis wins the Grand Prix here in Canada. Charles will come home in second for a Ferrari podium. And we ask the question, what could have been if I hadn't ballsed up qualifying? We asked the question, what could have been if the weather had done what we were told it was going to? Because we would have not started on the medium tyre if we knew that the rain was going to come inside a hard tyre stint. We asked what would have been if the pit crew hadn't messed up 2 pit stops. What could have been? There may well have been a race win on the cards for Charles. There may well have been a podium on the cards for me, but it is P10 only in Canada, unfortunately. The car is quick.
Alright, race over. Take care
But
of the car on the way in.
my miscomings as a driver and the team's inability to do a decent pit stop And the fact that the car just brakes all the time. ERS failed again in that race. Oh, eventually everything will fall into place for Ferrari. But that eventually is not yet.
Sure to join us for more exciting.
We hope that it will be in the next one. I'm behind Carlos Sainz in the rivalry, but only by 3 points. I will close on him in this particular race, Grand Prix weekend, because he retired. But unfortunately, I don't get close enough still. Strategy analyst. I did perfect a practice program. I perfected 2 practice programs. Bugged. No wonder that is still level 1 and all the others are level 3. It's just not registering when you actually do it. Cheers game. That's why we're not getting our resource points as quickly as we would like to. That's why we're not able to upgrade the car as quickly as we might like to. That's why the Ferrari is a shitter. Was a shitter. It's not a shitter anymore. We have ourselves...
As if you have a new rival.
Oh, I got a
This
new
is the
rival.
perfect opportunity to show the world why you belong in this sport.
I already know why I belong in this sport. Thank you very much.
My very exclusive clientele.
Just kidding. I love working with you. You're so funny. You've not used that exact line on me 3 times before. Shut your face. So up next is Spain, where last season we had a not great finishing position. But then, post-Spain, was when our really strong results kicked in. So we might be about to start really making inroads on those above us. Charles is up to 2nd in the driver's standings, ahead of George and ahead of Fernando now. We are still 4th in the constructors, but closing in on Aston Martin. Charles will try and finish ahead of Fernando Alonso each race. I will try and finish ahead of Lance Stroll each race, and hopefully between us we can close on Aston Martin. Charles definitely stands a chance of beating one or both Mercedes each round. I just need to try and help out. But hopefully, with a non-bodged qualifying, we will be able to do that. So I now want to start improving the car again, please. So drag reduction is going to be very important. 30% chance of failure, though, and it's not going to be ready until at least Hungary in 4 Grand Prix time. But the aero is the place to upgrade now, and really the only place of any real worth. Tyre wear, it's not going to make any difference for us. Weight redistribution could help with the balance of the car. Powertrain we will look to do as well. Engine power could certainly come in handy with regards our poor straight line speed because we're having to run extra downforce. And the drag reduction will help with that as well. Another failure from the Ferrari. 2 further failures from the Ferrari factory. This is the most Ferrari save you've ever seen, isn't it? They cannot get anything right. We're now the 3rd fastest team as McLaren have caught up. We shall advance to the race in Spain. We pray again that there's no bloody rain. The rain in Spain falls hopefully not on us. It's not Forza Ferrari, it's Forza failure, as Sokmas says in chat. But it is fully dry in Spain at least. Thank Christ for that. So we will go again in España. And what, do I have enough resource points to redo something that previously failed? No on that front. Yes on that front. That will pass in time for Great Britain. So we'll get that done. We should be able to redo the weight redistribution after practice here in Spain as well. And I'm not going to be able to upgrade the aero department until at least Hungary anyway. So we'll do what we can with our resource points. We'll do what we can in Spain. The AI tend to be strong in Spain, but not as strong as they have been in previous years. We didn't make the most of a particularly competitive Ferrari package today, but next time we will. Right? We have to. Next time we have to. Thank you very much for watching today. Join me in the next one. Come and join me on stream to see every lap of every session, and hopefully things will start going well for us at Ferrari, which they have not yet so far. Forza Ferrari, not Forza failure moving forward, please. I'll see you next time. Shit. That didn't really go according to plan, did it? S1, S2, 9, Canada. Just pay out the prediction for those of you that were here to do it. It was split 50-50 in terms of points spent. Jordan is making some big bucks here. 180,000 spent on me not finishing inside the top 7, and he's going to earn a hell of a lot here. Let us know, Jordan, how much you get back from this, because I'd be very intrigued. How much have you gotten back from that? 180,000 bet. Thank you for the follow, Pluto and Flame. Welcome to the channel, guys. Always bet against the house. 180,000 bet, 360,000 returned. A double return on investment for Jordan. Ridiculous, that. That's absolutely ridiculous. Well done, sir. You bet big, you won big. GG's. Right, I'm going to go and have some lunch. We will restart the stream, and we will come back with the transfer window and opening episode of Season 5 of the Realistic Road to Glory. So do join me in about probably 15 minutes time, and we will record episode 1 of Season 5. We may also squeeze some Football Manager in a little bit later on as well, if there's time. I'll be back in about 15 minutes time. I appreciate your patience in waiting. Go grab some food and a snack of your own, and I will see you in